On January 25th, 2007, the Xbox 360 port was released. Thankfully, the mechanics and controls of the arcade game can still be ported to console format, so the porting process wasn't too painful in terms of gameplay. The game was ported to the Xbox 360 simply because at the time, Japan wasn't too relevant for the PS3, and the Wii was rather perceived to be not having the desired demographic or simply too weak in terms of hardware. Xbox 360 was the more popular console, and the console's developers were more used to it. Although, to be fair, there were no interviews that mentioned this detail. Most of Bandai Namco's games were on Xbox 360, though, so the most probable reason must be hardware familiarity. This version is where Miki Hoshi, voiced by Hasegawa Akiko, debuted. The lime green visual queen. She has low motivation, but she is very talented. She also likes to sleep a lot. It is said that this is reference to the voice actress' tendency to sleep as well. She needs a spark to get motivated. Miki can be awakened Miki when certain conditions are fulfilled. Awakened Miki only appears on select first vision titles. In second vision, there are no instances where she can turn into her awakened form. About the content itself, the game is more of an arranged arcade port than an HD remaster. Online functions such as online editions are ported too. 6 songs were also included compared to the arcade release. Now that the game is on a home platform, people can enjoy the game in peace without queuing in line. Like, seriously, who thought text-heavy gal games were a good fit for the arcades? One could say this is the home that Idolmaster deserves. Xbox 360 has no touchscreen, and Kinect did not yet exist at the time. Touches are substituted with controller controls, notably touching moments in commus. So, to do the pie touch, you have to move the cursor with the left analog stick or the directional pad. Well, as long as the touch commus are left intact. The game was balanced to be easier overall. The requirements to get to the true end are said to have been made more difficult, so it balanced it out. Some controversial mechanics from the arcade like rank up limit and auditions losing stats penalty have been eliminated or mitigated. Activity cost is eliminated as well. The port even went as far as porting the mails you can get from the idols. The game won't send it to your real phone though, it can only be read in-game. And in this version, you're not forced to play auditions against another human player. You can play against the CPU. If you don't feel confident, then there's no need to play late at night to avoid being bullied by stronger players. The arcade release may have started it all, but this is where the game's popularity skyrocketed. Thanks to the dance MVs, the game is often used as a MAD machine or MAD machine, essentially for meme videos on NicoNicoDouga, a video streaming site for Japan. Idolmaster is referred to as one of the NicoNico Big 3 series, together with Toho Project and Vocaloid, the NicoNico meme trio, or as they were known for. Viewing the MVs is not easy in this game though. Firstly, you can only rewatch the performances via saved replay. Secondly, in this game, the idols can have accidents, which makes it difficult to enjoy the MVs at will on how they're supposed to be shown flawlessly. And last but not least, the replay save slots are limited. There are only so many MVs you can have to rewatch before you need to delete some of them. And speaking of achievements, sales-wise the game was a sleeper hit. It initially sold only 20,000 copies, but thanks to the game's popularity on NicoNicoDouga, the sales surged, and it sold 100,000 copies, including the bargain copies. For the Japanese, the representative of Xbox 360 was not Halo, it was the Idolmaster. If that's not enough, the Idolmaster's popularity gained some attention in the West at this time. It was said that Japan had the highest Xbox Live subscriber count for the time, thanks to the Idolmaster. Usually in Japan, consoles of forward origin such as the Xbox don't get much favor, but this is the exception to the rule. And yes, sadly, its online services were shut down in tandem to Idolmaster 2's release. No more auditions against human opponents then. Good thing this version was made with single player in mind, so no worries about only finding the CPUs. You can still buy the DLCs as well. If you're peaked to try the game, go grab it. The game is not rare. On eBay it's around $20 or so. But you need a Japanese Xbox 360 too. Xbox 360 has region lock, so to play a Japanese only game on Xbox 360, you need a Japanese Xbox 360. Xbox One, at the moment of making this video, hasn't made a compatible game with Xbox One because Xbox One is just junk to the Japanese. But regardless, it is a treat to play the arcade game's awakened form. You know what's really bothersome in the previous game? Watching and coordinating the MVs is a pain in the butt. This is especially inconvenient if you like to make mads out of Idolmaster MVs. On February 28, 2008, that pain was over. The Idolmaster Live for You is a rhythm game, not a production or a racing game. The main purpose of this game is as a fan disc for the live MVs to be shot and coordinated by the player, and to be watched easily without having to go through the pains of doing long playthroughs and saving replays. Accident-free as well. Very, very nice. On a technical standpoint, it's more of repurposing the game's previous engine. A standalone expansion, perhaps? This is a common practice in the video game industry. The models used are still the ones from the previous game. A lot of costume options are added though, including having the King of All Cosmos from Katamari as a bracelet. Yeah, just want to mention that because that is awesome. As for the setting, you don't play as the same producer as the previous game. You play as a special producer, selected among the fans. Your role is to liven up the 765 Pro Fans Thanksgiving Festival, as it was called. As the momentary producer, you get to control the lives. The idols who will appear in a unit of 1 to 3 members, the costumes, the camera, and the song. You can even edit how the song is sung within the unit too on each sentence. This is the only Idolmaster game that lets the player control the singing of the song. This feature is absent in subsequent games. For the live, you can decide either to give support, play the normal rhythm game gameplay, or take photos. Just take photos or sit back and watch the live. The rhythm gameplay is similar to Taiko no Tatsujin, although it involves far more buttons than Taiko no Tatsujin does. There are 6 buttons to press as indicated on the screen. The interesting part is the rhythm part you play is as the cheering audience. Usually rhythm games have the rhythm follow the vocals or the instrumentals. Having the audience cheer as the basis of the rhythm game is quite unique. There are 3 difficulties for the song charts: easy, normal, and hard. It still hasn't used the debut, regular, pro, and master difficulty names yet. It was noted that the easy pattern resembles the PPPH dance pattern, commonly used in idol lives. That's a pretty sweet detail. On harder difficulties, the chart can get pretty expressive. The ability to view the lives without gameplay at will becomes a staple of the series. In future console games, this can be done on the Stage for You modes, either to just enjoy the live stress-free or, well, make videos. The game still has memory appeal and burst appeal. On actual gameplay, it triggers randomly and has no gameplay effects. Future Namco Pro Idolmaster games will retain this staple. Speaking of the song roster is quite thick since each song includes 2 remixed versions, Remix A and B. Including the DLC, the total amount of songs is 96, including the remixes. Remix A songs are unlocked after the original version of the song is cleared with 90+% voltage. Remix B are DLCs. As for the story comes in snippets as you do and clear songs. No deadlines, no pressure. Clearly, story is not an important aspect in this game. At least you get to see interesting interactions in the perspective of a fan. One important thing to note, although Kotori hasn't debuted since the arcade days, it was only on the website and other mediums outside of the games. This game marks her first appearance in the games. She is the secretary for the game, where she will guide you to many things. Tutorials, commenting on your performance, etc. Thanks to this game, her popularity surged, and she regularly appears on many future titles. It may be thanks to Kotori that it has become a sort of staple for any idol games to have a secretary character, acting as the guide or informant within such games, Idolmaster included. As fun as the main rhythm gameplay is, the real reason for this game's popularity is as a meme machine. Since it's very easy to set the live that you want freely in this game, it became very easy to make MADs using MV footage of this game too, especially on NicoNicoDouga. MAD makers love this game. A hidden cheat that makes the stage background have a solid color exists as well. This means it's very easy to make the background transparent on lives, and it makes the process of using the background-free footage of the idols dancing very easy. This cheat must have been added on purpose, as if the developers knew the fame Idolmaster had within the NicoNicoDouga community. This game is one of the first of its kind too, where watching the MVs in leisure is the main priority. A game similar to Idolmaster Live for You, Hatsune Miku Project Diva, which was published by Sega, was released a year later on PSP, complete with MV edit and viewing the MV without the need to play the rhythm game gameplay. Fitting, considering Hatsune Miku is one of the Nico Nico Big 3. Interested in playing this game? Just like the previous game, Xbox One hasn't supported this game yet as of the making of this video, because Xbox One is junk. Thankfully, the game is not rare too. You should be able to get one within the $11 price range. Just make sure you have a Japanese Xbox 360 first, because the game has region locked. The game is a bit outdated to make memes with now, but the rhythm gameplay alone should keep you entertained.